Attention, duelists. I'm Phoenix. You are the duelists. And today, they added a whole bunch of new stuff to Master Duel. By a whole bunch, I mean a couple of things. So I'm going to do something I don't want to do and open what I think is the least impressive selection pack that they have ever put out. I think there's a whole lot of stinkers in this one. And apparently the game agrees, because apparently I'm getting nothing from this. But here I am, bringing you the hits from the 80s to now. I'll go through this once everything's been opened, and from there we will see what is actually new and worth describing. Bubble Bringer, Merchant's Bubble Ring, Sea Stealth 2, Ice Jades, I'm pretty sure they're finally introducing those in these, Rage of the Kyrucian, and Elsbor, the Sacred Lands of Simorg. Ice Jade Erosion, Reincarnation of the Seven Emperors. Hold on. Reincarnation of the Seventh Emperors. Not the Seven Emperors, not the Seventh Emperor, the Seventh Singular, Emperors Plural. Someone at localization is fired. Giltia, the D Knight, Soul Spear. Hang on a second. What the hell is this thing? Leave place Plice? Gains 200 attack defense for each card in your opponent's graveyard. During your standby phase, if this card's in your hand or graveyard and your opponent has more cards in their graveyard than you can switch summon this card. You can only use the effect once per turn. That's fine. It's a weird little freak is what it is, though. Princess Circulation. Target a water link monster you control, return to the extra deck, and if you do, special one Princess Link monster from your extra deck with the same link rating but a different name. It cannot attack directly or be destroyed by battle this turn. This is treated as a link summon. If you control a link 3 or higher Princess monster, you can activate this card from your hand. Alright, good way to dodge stuff. Princess Sleepy Maiden, that's adorable. Level 5 Water, Cyberse. You can target one Princess card you control, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, it gains this effect. When this card's in the monster zone, the targeted card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target a Princess Link monster you control, equip it with one Princess Link monster from your graveyard. You can use each effect of Sleepy Maiden once per turn. And I didn't actually go over this one. Rage of the Kyrucian. If Umi is on the field, target monsters your opponent controls up to the number of water monsters you control whose original levels are 5 or higher, and destroy them. And if you do, the zones they're in cannot be used until the end of the next turn. You can only activate one Rage of the Kyrucian per turn. That has potential. Hey, absolutely nothing new. But I'm just going to keep reading stuff. Kyrucian's Dark Reef. Normal trap. Send one face-up Yumi you control to the graveyard to special summon up to 2 monsters with different names from your hand and or deck that mention Yumi or are water normal monsters in defense position. Then, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon any number of level 6 or lower water normal monsters from your hand and or deck. Until the end of your next turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except water monsters. You can only activate one Kyrucian's Dark Reef per turn. So it's a way to get out 3 or more monsters. That's fine. Really pushing this whole Nash Knight thing. Oh my god, did I actually get something higher than rare? Yes, I did. Ice Jade, Igrin. Level 3 Water Monster, 1000 attack, 2000 defense. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add an Ice Jade spell trap from your deck to your hand. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets this card, or targets this card for an attack, quick effect, activate this effect. The next time this card will be destroyed by battle or card effect, it is not. Also, special summon one water monster from your hand or graveyard except Ice Jade Erosion, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only use each effect of Ice Jade Erosion once per turn. I don't know terribly much about Ice Jades. Don't think anyone does. We'll see what I can do with that later. Mermaid Shark. When this card is normal summoned, you can add one level 3, 4, or 5 fish monster from your deck to your hand. Simple effect. Sea Stealth 2. Continuous spell. This card's name becomes you beat while on the field or in the graveyard. Your opponent cannot target water monsters you control with non-water monster effects. At the start of the battle phase, you can special summon this card. You can special summon from your hand or graveyard one monster that mentions you meet or a water normal monster in defense position, but destroy it at the end of the battle phase. You can only use this effect of Sea Stealth 2 once per turn. There's Ice Jade Erosion. Continuous Trap. You can target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy an Ice Jade monster you control, and if you do, negate the targeted card's effects until the end of this turn. If a face-up water monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card, except by being destroyed, you can... That's annoying and I don't like it. You can add to your hand or special summon one Ice Jade monster from your deck. You can only use each effect of Ice Jade Erosion once per turn. I don't think I care for this Ice Jade nonsense so far. Mermaid Shark. I didn't actually read Guilty of the D. If you control no monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing. When this card is normal summoned, you can banish one monster your opponent controls equal or higher attack than this card. You can discard one card to add one of the following monsters from your deck to your hand. A level 7 Dark Dragon, a level 6 Dark Machine, or a level 5 Water Monster. So that would be Red Eyes Black Dragon, Jinzo, or Legendary Fisherman. You can only use each effect of Guilty of the D, Soul Spear once per turn. This is a Joey Wheeler reference. Oh, hey, I got another super rare. But for all I know, has already existed. Marincess Spring Girl. You can banish one Marincess monster from your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for the link summon of a water monster, you can send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to the number of Marincess monsters you control. Then, if a Marincess card was sent to the graveyard by this effect, inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each Marincess card sent. You can only use each effect of Marincess Spring Girl once per turn. I don't think there's really much... I don't think burning really fits in with the Marincess strategy. Hey, look at all this hot garbo. Yep. First opening. Except this kind of has my attention. Agent of Destruction Venus. You can banish one, the Agent of Creation Venus, from your graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. You can pay life points in multiples of 500. Then, for every 500 life points paid, target one of your Mystic Shine Balls that is banished or in your graveyard and special summon them. Place them on the bottom of the deck when they leave the field. You can only use one Agent of Destruction Venus effect per turn and only once that turn. So you get more use out of the Shine Balls. That's potential. Let's open more garbage. In a single pack, I have opened more supers than I did in the entire last set of 10. Electric Jellyfish. You can send one Yumi from your hand, deck, or face-up field to the graveyard to special summon one water monster from your hand. When your opponent activates a monster effect, or spell card, or effect, or spell card effect, or while Yumi is on the field... When your opponent activates a monster effect, or spell card, or effect while Yumi is on the field, quick effect. Negate the effect, then you can make this card gain 600 attack and defense. You can only use each effect of Electric Jellyfish once per turn. It's almost an Omni Negate on a normal rarity card. Doom Kraken. If Yumi is on the field, quick effect. You can target one water monster you control, except Doomkraken, and one monster your opponent controls. Special summon this card from your hand. If you do, return that monster you control to the hand, and if you do that, destroy the opponent's monster. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, negate that attack. You can only use each effect of Doomkraken once per turn. So it's a nice way to bounce your guys out of the way on a quick effect and pop an opponent's card and summon Doomkraken. And Doomkraken bounces itself back. Excuse me. Weird strategies that feel like they're from a different era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ragnar Zero already existed, but it's my first time getting here. So, rank 4 Xyz requiring 2 level 4 monsters. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, target one face-up attack position monster your opponent controls, whose current attack is different from its original attack, destroy it. If you do, draw 1 card. It's fine. Be a nice way to... Actually, no, that wouldn't even work. I was about to say you could use it to get rid of that super annoying Supreme Sword Soul guy, but he can protect himself from destruction anyway. These are definitely feeling like cards that were meant for a slower game. Nothing. Nothing new. I think I've got a Biskeeper last time and didn't read it, so I'll do that now. It's a Link 2 water monster, requiring 2 water monsters. Cannot be used as Link material the turn it is Link summoned. If this card is Link summoned, you can special summon 1 fish monster from your hand to your zone this card points to. You can target 1 other fish monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls, banish both. You can only use each effect of a Biskeeper once per turn. I didn't actually read this last time, so I'll do that now. Reincarnation of the 7th Emperors. Still hate the name. During damage calc, if your number Xyz monster has a number between 101 and 107 in its name, or your Xyz monster has any such monsters as material battles, banish that monster you control and materials. During the end phase of the turn you activate this card, special summon 1 rank 3 or lower Xyz monster from your extra deck except a number monster. If you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. Hey, I think this sucks. Like, best case scenario, you bring out Acid Golem and hit your opponent for 3,000. But it doesn't feel worth it. Hey, Ghoul. I'm just opening up the new selection pack. And so far, I think everything in it is bad. Crystal Shark. Level 5 water. 1100 attack, 800 defense. Terrible stats for its level. If this card is used for the Xyz summon of a number monster, it can be treated as a level 3 or 4 monster. That doesn't help it get out on the field quicker. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target a water monster on the field, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. And if you do, have that monster's attack. Also, you cannot special monsters for the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Xyz monsters. You can only use this effect of Crystal Shark once per turn. It's an okay way to cheese out rank 3, 4, or 5 Xyz. Overall, I still don't think it's great. So far, nothing from this pack is, at least that I've gotten, has impressed me. Ice Jade Cradle is not even new. I already have this. Nothing. Submarine Tour Ride. It's cute card art. Level 6 Dinosaur. Not even a fish. The first normal monster you control that would be destroyed by battle or card effect each turn is not destroyed. If you control a normal monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Submarine Tour Ride once per turn. Seymour, Bird of Perfection. Level 4. Winged Beast, 1800 attack, 500 defense. While face up on the field, this card is also Wind attribute. You can only use each effect of the following of Seamorg Bird Perfection once per turn. During your main phase, if you normal summon or special summon a winged beast, you can reveal this card in your hand, and after this resolves, normal summon one Seamorg monster. If this card is normal summon, you can send one Seamorg monster from your deck to the graveyard to add a Seamorg spell trap from your deck to your hand. I don't think Seamorg is an archetype so much as it's put in as a way to cheese out the Barrier Statue of Winds. Seventh Eternity. Continuous Trap. Target one number exceeds monster you control that has a number between 101 and 107 in its name, or when exceeds monster control that any such monster as material, then activate one of these effects. Negate the effects of one monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the targeted monster's attack until the end of the turn. Detach all materials from the targeted monster, then special summon one number exceeds monster from your graveyard. You can only use this effect of 7th Eternity once per turn. Yeah, so far I think these cards are just bad. Citadel Will and a Flow Under Ease card. Lovely. Citadel Whale is not even new. Flow Under Ease and the Advent of Adventure. Quick play spell. Banish one Winged Beast monster from your hand or face-up field. Add one Flow Under Ease monster or Flow Under Ease field spell from your deck to your hand, then gain 500 life points. You can only activate one Flow Under Ease and Advent of Adventure once per turn. Yes, because that's what Flow Under Ease was lacking. Consistency in getting out their monsters and their field spell. Also, gaining life points. Hate. More flame packs. Nothing new. Nothing new. Nothing new. Nothing. Chaos Xyz Nash Knight. A rank 6 Xyz, 2,000 attack, 3,000 defense, Aqua, acquiring 3 level 6 monsters. You can also Xyz summon it by using a Nash Knight you control, transferring its materials to this card. It cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can detach one material from this card, a special summon from your extra deck, one number Xyz monster that also has a number between 101 and 107 in its name, using this card as material, but destroy that card during your opponent's next end phase. You can only use this effect of Chaos Xyz Nash Knight once per turn. I know it very much sounds like I'm just repeating myself. I think this pack is just bad. Maybe something's doable with all the Yumi stuff, but the Chaos Xyz and the 7 Emperors, the 7th Emperors is all awful. They were unimpressive when they first came out, and all of their upgrades are no better. Maybe Marincess players are getting something out of this? I don't play Marincess, so I don't know. Roll Anemone, another Agrin, and Yorishiro of the Aqua, which is a retrain of Maiden of the Aqua. Level 4 Aqua type with 700 attack, 2000 defense. You can target one water monster in your graveyard, apply one of these effects. Also, you cannot special monster the rest of the turn except water monsters. If the target has a level, Then until the end phase, this card's level also becomes the same as that monster's. If Yumi is on the field, special summon that monster in defense position. You can banish this card from your graveyard to target one Yumi in your graveyard and add it to your hand. You can only use each effective Yoshihiro of the Aqua once per turn. Monster born on legs for water monsters? Potential level modulation for Exceeding for water monsters? One of the, I don't want to say more impressive, but capable cards that I've seen so far. Another Spren Girl, and Chaos Nephthys, a card that has nothing to do with Nephthys. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by its own effect. If a card in the field is destroyed by a card effect, you can banish a light and a dark monster from your graveyard, except Chaos Nephthys. Special summon this card from the graveyard if it was there when the card was destroyed, or the hand if it was not. You can only use this effect of Chaos Nephthys once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can target one card your opponent controls and 2 cards in the graveyard, banish them. Chaos monster summoning conditions, but you have to wait for one of your cards to be destroyed. Then you can banish potentially 3 cards of your opponents. Seems a bit too much of an... Yeah, you are banishing 2 of yours, and you have to wait for one of yours to be destroyed to bring this out, so... I think this card barely breaks even for unimpressive stats. Let down. I don't want to open any more of this pack because I think it has way too many URs than it deserves for the power level of the cards in it. So I'm just going to go through and read the cards. Marincess Coral Triangle, a Link 3 Cyberse Link with 1500 attack, requiring 2 plus Marincess monsters. You can send 1 water monster from your hand to the graveyard to add a Marincess trap from your deck to your hand. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon a water link monster from your graveyard whose combined link ratings equals exactly 3. You can only use each effect of Marincess Coral Triangle once per turn. You cannot special monster this turn activate either of this card's effects except water monsters. This is good for Marincess. Marincess Aqua Argonaut, a Link 4 Cyberse monster requiring 2 plus water monsters with 2300 attack. While this card is in the extra monster zone, your opponent's monsters cannot attack any monsters except this one. You can only use each effect of the following effects of Marincess Aqua Argonaut once per turn. Target a water monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls, return both of them to the hand. During your opponent's turn, when a spell or trap or effect is activated on the field, break effect. Special summon 1 of your Marincess monster cards equipped to this card. If you do, negate the activated effect. A spell trap negation, along with the summon, being able to bounce cards. Decent. Nash Knight. Oh, rank 5 Xyz, requiring 2 level 5s. Cannot be destroyed by battle while a number of monsters on the field. During the main phase, quick effect, detach 2 materials from this card, attach a number Xyz monster from your extract to this card's material that has a number between 101 and 107 in its name, then attach 1 other face-up monster on the field to this card as material. You can only use this effect of Nash Knight once per turn. I think Nash Knight is a worse version of Silent Honor Arc. Ice Jade, Cosmocolor. If a face-up card is on the field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Ice Jade, Cosmocolor once per turn. While Ice Jade C Note and Neon Cradle is on the field, monsters your opponent controls can only activate their effects the turn they are summoned. If your Ice Jade monster battles an opponent's monster, that monster loses 1000 attack during that damage calculation only. I think the effect negation would be bigger if the game wasn't so fast that it's unlikely to go past turn 3 anyway. Somehow, if you get out, I assume C-Note Neon Cradle is a field spell, so your opponent goes first, you activate Neon Cradle, you summon out Cosmocolor, and now you've just negated your opponent's board, assuming they don't stop C-Note or have a back row removal set. Decent. Or passable. Mega Fortress Whale. If Yumi is on the field, you can activate this effect. Your water monsters can attack directly this turn. During your opponent's battle phase, quick effect. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls and destroy it. If this card on the field is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can either add it to your hand or special summon one water warrior monster from your deck or graveyard. You can use each effect of Mega Fortress Whale once per turn. It enables your water monsters to attack directly. You can pop something of your opponents during their battle phase. It gets you something back when it's popped. It's alright. Its stat line of 2550, 2350 is unimpressive though. And there's no real easy way to cheese it out, at least not from its own effect. Yuumi on the field, most Yuumis reduce level by 1, so it will only be 1 tribute now. Ocean Dragonlord Kyrucian. Level 5 Sea Serpent, 2000 attack, 1700 defense. While Yuumi's on the field, each player can only control one face-up non-water monster. If the player controls 2 or more, they must send some to the graveyard so they only control 1. During your main phase, you can add from your deck to your hand 1 Yuumi, 1 Kyrucian spell trap, or a Sea Stealth spell trap. You can only use this effect of Ocean Dragonlord Kyrucian once per turn. It's Floodgate Light that lets you add stuff to your hand. It's okay. As field spell, Ice Jade, Sea Note, Eneon, Cradle. When this card is activated, you can add one of your Ice Jade monsters that is banished or in your graveyard to your hand. Once per turn, if a monster is normal or special summoned, except during the damage step, you can target one water monster you control. That monster, along with any face-up monsters your opponent currently controls, loses attack equal to the targeted monster's original attack until the end of this turn. You can only activate one Ice Jade, Sea Note, Eneon, Cradle per turn. I feel like Ice Jades are, at least this card, you're going to want to run Field Barrier with it or something. Sales Ban. Normal spell. Declare one card name. For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with the same original name as that declared card. Same restrictions apply to you, but for the rest of the duel instead of just this turn. You can only activate one Sales Ban per turn. This is worse Prohibition. This does not justify being a UR. Varian's Chaos Draw. Normal spell. To activate this card, you must draw it for your normal draw in your draw phase, reveal it, and keep it revealed until main phase 1. During that main phase, you can activate one of these effects. Send one 7th normal spell from your deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that spell's effect when that card is activated. Or, special summon 2 monsters from your deck, but negate their effects. Then immediately after this effect resolves, execute summon one number monster using materials you control, including both of those monsters. I can only repeat the same stance so many times. I think the 7th cards are bad. 7th Ascension. Take one card from your deck, either a Barian Spell Trap, a Rank Up Magic Quick Play, or a 7th Spell Trap except 7th Ascension, and add it to your hand or place it on top of your deck. If your opponent controls another monster, special summon from the extra deck, you can banish this card from your graveyard, send one Rank Up Magic spell from your hand to the graveyard. This effect becomes that spell's effect when that card is activated. You can only use each effect of 7th Ascension once per turn. Numbers Evale. If your opponent controls a monster, special summon from the extra deck, and you do not, choose 4 Number Xyz monsters from your extra deck with different ranks, plus a 5th Number Xyz monster whose number value in its name equals the combined number values of the 4 other monsters. Special summon that 5th number monster, this is treated as an Xyz summon, and attach the 4 chosen numbers to it as material, but you cannot special summon monsters except Number Xyz monsters while you control that face-up monster. That is an annoying and complicated thing. Four number monsters in your extra deck with different ranks, plus a 5th number whose number value in its name equals the combined number values of the 4 other monsters. What a weird thing. How easily to disrupt that is. Harpy's Pet Dragon, Fearsome Fire Blast. Monsters cannot target level 6 or lower Harpy monsters for attacks. You can only use each of the following effects of Harpy's Pet Dragon, Fearsome Fire Blast once per turn. If you control a level 6 or lower wind monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send a Wind Wing Beast monster from your deck to the graveyard. I feel neutral on that. Ice Jade, Creation Kingfisher. You can target one water monster you control and equip this card from your hand or field to it. An Ice Jade monster equipped with this card can attack while in defense position. If it does, apply its defense for damage calculation. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can target one monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the equipped monster's defense. Special summon this card, and if you do, return that targeted monster to the hand. You can only use this effect of Ice Jade Creation Kingfisher once per turn. Alright, so it allows Ice Jades to attack from defense mode, which their defense, at least from what I've seen so far, tends to be higher than their attack, so gives them super heavy samurai stuff. And you can detach it to bounce, and if it's the second turn, you can reattach it so it can attack in defense mode again. Ice Jades are weird. Abyss Shark. If this card is used for the XC summon of a number monster, it can be treated as a level 3 or 4 monster, or its inertial level is 5, I assume. If all monsters you control are water, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, add one level 3, 4, or 5 fish monster from your deck to your hand except Abyss Shark. For the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters except water monsters, and double the first battle damage inflicted to your opponent this turn by your number monsters battling another monster. You can only use the effect of Abyss Shark once per turn. Off the top of my head, my mind immediately goes to Shark Drake. Rank up magic, Barion's Force. I don't think this is a new card, actually. Target one face-up Xyz monster you control, special summon from your extra deck one number C or CXYZ monster with the same type as that monster you control, but one rank higher, by using it as Xyz material. The special summon is treated as an Xyz summon. Xyz material attached to it also become an Xyz material on the summoned monster. Then, if possible, detach one material from a monster your opponent controls and attach it to the summoned monster as an Xyz material. Fish Sonar. Add one level 7 or lower monster from your deck to your hand that mentions Umi or is a water normal monster. Then, if Umi is on the field, you can special summon one water normal monster from your deck. You can only activate one Fish Sonar from your You can only activate one Fish Sonar per turn. Brings out a fish, adds a fish. Decent. Marincess Dive. Activate one of the following effects. For the rest of the turn after this effect resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except water monsters. Target a non-link Marincess monster in your graveyard and special summon it. If Marincess Battle Ocean is on your field zone, you can special summon a Marincess monster from your deck. You can only activate one Marincess Dive per turn. And everything else is rare and below. And I still did not get this one. Rebirth of the Seventh Emperors. I hate that name. Tribute all Xyz monsters you control, then target one of your banished Xyz monsters, special summon it, then you can attach your number of Xyz monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard as material, that have a number between 101 and 107 in their name, up to the number of monsters tributed to activate this effect +1. During the end phase of the turn you activate this card, each player takes 300 damage for each card in their hand. What a weird card. You have all the stuff to come out. The only thing that even kind of has my attention is Ice Jades, and that's because they're weird. Other than that, I could not be bothered to care about any of them. Oh, but hey, the Salamangreat structure deck is out. And it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 URs, which is not the most that I've ever had. A decent number of super rares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it also introduces Decode Talker Heat Soul. So that's cool. So Salamangreat, just looking at the structure deck alone, already has much more interest of mine than all of the Cosmic Ocean pack. I'm going to buy 2 of these, because unfortunately I don't have enough stuff left over to buy 3. But that is the way it goes. Let's summarize this. Cosmic Ocean. If you were already going to care about the stuff in this pack, I don't think I can talk you out of it. If you're on the fence, my advice is to ignore it. there's nothing in here that's super worth getting, or if you do care about any of the stuff, craft it rather than try to open packs, because I think this has terrible filler stuff in it. I think all of the Barians and 7th Emperor cards are just straight up bad. Sales Ban has no right being a UR. Ice Jades are weird. Marincess already has good cards out, so the rest is just extra fluff. Yeah, that's the review. Bad pack. Can't wait for the next one in 30 days. Hopefully we get some actually decent cards in it. But that's a problem for 30 days from now. Problem right now is doing the outro. That's going to be the end of this video. If you caught the stream, thanks for watching. If you're catching the replay, thanks for that too. Goodbye.